My name is Tony Bogan, and you're listening to the Keon Sports Player Spotlight Series. Happy 2022 to you all out there. Today, we're going to be interviewing Connor Presell of the Holy Name Green Wave. Presell is a dual sport athlete who had key contributions and helped the Green Wave out to their regional championship appearance in football this past year. And now he's going to Miami of Ohio for baseball next spring. Coming up next will be Connor Priesel. And we're back with Connor Priesel of Holy Name. Connor, welcome to the program, man.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. It was really great to get a chance to see Holy Name this year in football.
That was awesome. Glad you guys made it up.
Not a problem, man. My first question to you is, were you originally... Did you live on the west side, or what side of the Cleveland did you live on?
So I live in the Macedonia area. Both my parents went to Holy Names. I've been bleeding green since I was a little kid.
Oh, okay, gotcha. My dad lives in Sagamore Hills, and my uncle lives around the same neighborhood, believe it or not. 5-minute drive from each other. And
I do live in Sagamore Hills. Most people just don't know where Sagamore Hills is, so I think that's
Gotcha. Great place. Sagamore Hills is a great place, great quiet place. Nordonia's over by there. Really nice place to live.
For sure.
And you went to Holy Name. How was the travel from so far away? Like, when you went to Holy Name?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's mostly highway. It takes about 25 minutes to get to school. You just kind of get used to it in the morning. Early on, when I was a freshman, my friend and other player, Andrew Shiven, his dad would take us to school because he lives over by me, and his dad's a teacher at Westlake, so he'd take us on his way. So that was kind of how we got to school before we started driving.
Gotcha. And as far as sports goes, you when did you first start playing football?
I started playing tackle football in 3rd grade in a league called N2IF, and then I'd been playing flag football since 1st grade. Okay. And you became a lineman as you moved up through the ranks, right? Yeah, so I was a skill position player until 7th grade because I played CYO football. So I went to the St. Barnabas grade school, and then 8th grade I couldn't make the weight limit anymore pretty much, so I became a lineman. And then freshman year I was actually a skill position player on the freshman and JV teams, and then sophomore year I kind of transitioned into being a defensive end.
Okay. And when did you... How was it, how did the freshman team do when you played for them?
We were, I think we went undefeated. The freshman team went undefeated, and then the JV team, I think we only lost one game my freshman year.
Gotcha. And did you ever get to dress varsity at all during your freshman year?
Yeah, I dressed every game varsity.
Nice. And did you get to play in any of the games?
I played in one game. I think it was against Normandy. I had a 36 yard run or something like that. That was pretty much my claim to fame freshman year.
Gotcha. And I know they went 4-1 in their last stretch. You guys play your home games at Serpentini Stadium in North Worldton, right?
Yes, we do. So we although we do have we put in a turf field. I think 2 years before I got to Holy Name, we don't have lights, and we don't have the capacity back there to put enough stands in to have varsity home games there.
Gotcha. So you guys have JV and freshman home games there?
Yeah, so all varsity sports can have home games there except for varsity football.
Gotcha. I know we'll get into baseball in a minute, but I know they have baseball's played at State Road Park, I believe, right?
Yes, Kurtz Park is what it's called. That's actually where my dad played when he went to Holy Name.
Okay, gotcha.
So, yeah, I think we have 7 home games there this season, and then we have 2 or 3 home games at Baldwin Wallace this year as well.
Oh, nice. Because I know Iggy used to have that as their field for the longest time before they moved up to Brookside, the Jim Tomey place.
Yes.
Nice park. I'd like to actually go visit eventually at some point.
Mm-hmm. yeah, it's very nice.
And moving on to your 2019 season, you guys also had a good year and you made the playoffs. Did you guys end up winning the conference that year, or was it did another team end up winning it?
Yeah, we won the conference that year. I think we sealed the deal in our second to last game against Fairview. We won the conference.
Gotcha. And I saw you guys had a close victory against Valley Forge. I believe, what is that, 4 Parma area schools in some way, shape, or form are in the GLC. That has to make for some interesting rivalries.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, being that we play them pretty much every year, really every year. It's definitely, Valley Forge is one of our biggest rivals in the GLC, just because they're so close, and we always have pretty good matchups against them. Parma normally not as strong as they've been in the past, but yeah, Valley Forge is definitely gives us a tough game every year.
Gotcha. And then you guys had your first playoff win against Tiffin Columbian, a team that you'd end up losing to the following year. How was it to beat them in the first round in 2019?
Yeah, it was something. I mean, that was my sophomore year we beat them. We went down there. It was so cold, I remember, and we had a goal line stand late in the game. I think they're at the 2-yard line, and it was 4th down, and they ended up throwing an incomplete pass. I think they went run, and then they threw on 4th down, and we stopped them there too. So it was a great character game that really defined that season, and all those guys. We had been a backbone defensively, and offensively we were firing that game too as well. I think our quarterback that game, Nick McCurry, he had a ton of rushing yards, and he was throwing it all over the place. So that was a great game for us. We did going into the next game it kind of helped us too to be ready we played Mansfield Senior, which was just a huge team. So yeah.
Yep, and that same Mansfield team ended up making it to the States that year. They beat Aurora in double overtime, and I'm pretty sure they also beat some pretty good teams along the way.
Yeah, they had a great, solid squad that year. I think they were very senior heavy. They had a safety. I remember going to Michigan State, so they had studs all over the field.
Gotcha. And going on into 2020, with the COVID pandemic being pretty much in full swing, there was a worry that there wouldn't even be football played in the state of Ohio because one of the conferences, Cleveland Senate League, had canceled sports all throughout, and there were some teams voting on whether or not to even have a football season. How did you guys stay focused, even given all the unknowns?
Yeah, I think it was just nobody did want to play on that team in 2020. I think we worked every day just the same as we would work it any other year. We did our summer workouts, got our lifts in. I think we knew that we were going to be ready when we got the chance to play a season. That was just kind of we had that kind of mentality. Just control what we can control. Be ready for the season when it comes.
Gotcha. And I know you guys, your game was canceled. Was it due to COVID protocols, or what had happened there? I know this. You were supposed to play Maple on the first week, but that got canceled.
Yeah, so we were supposed to play Maple Heights, and we ended up having a positive COVID case, just a kind of a freak thing. So yeah, we did cancel that first game, which just gave us another week of preparation for the next opponent.
Gotcha. And then you guys, even though you guys lost to a pretty good Walsh Jesuit team, you guys beat Normandy. You beat a really good Rocky River team. How was that to shut out Rocky River, and them not only being in your conference but also being in your region as well?
Yeah, we played Walsh tough. That was a good first game for us. I think we learned a lot about who we were as a team in that game. And then it was a tone setter for that season. We do like to say every once in a while that Rocky River is our second rival after Padua. But yeah, we came out firing that game. We had prepared really well all week. And we just had a great game plan going into that game.
Gotcha. And then it continued into the playoffs. I presume you guys got a bye because you guys went from the 2nd to the 16th. You guys beat River Valley, and then you had a couple close wins. Talk me through those. First Bowling Green and then Ashland.
Yeah, so those were both great games for us. I mean, yeah, we played River Valley first. We had a good game there. Just kind of did what we had been doing all season. We were playing well offensively and shut down defensively. But going into that, I think Bowling Green was first. Those were some big boys. I remember the linemen on that team were pretty big. It was just kind of figuring out what we could do against them. We had a good game plan going in, but we had to make some adjustments at halftime. And then, yeah, we just kind of got it done. And then playing Ashland, too, was just the same thing. We were both well-matched teams against each other, and, we made the better adjustments, I think.
Gotcha. I know you guys probably had to travel quite a bit of ways for both of those games, but it was well worth it to get a couple close wins there.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but all three of my varsity seasons, we've been road warriors. That first sophomore season, we were going all over the place, and the same thing the next year, and then this year we did end up getting that first home game, but after that we were away all the other games.
Gotcha. At the time I was working at Barrio up in Kent. My kitchen manager at the time was a huge Namers fan. I remember having texted him a couple of the scores when I was covering playoffs.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I know we got a lot of supporters around town. It's odd to see, but we have a lot of Holy Name people seem to stay around the Cleveland area just out of pure chance, I guess. We got a lot of support from around Cleveland.
Oh, absolutely. And then I know you guys had a tough loss against Tiffin Columbian. I heard that was a pretty good game, and you guys had a blocked punt return for a touchdown at the end to give yourselves a chance.
Yeah, that was a pretty crazy game. We had game planned a lot for them, but we kind of struggled offensively, getting something going. That game was close. They had a great running back. I remember they ran the ball all over us. They had a great line. We try to make adjustments at halftime, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. That play at the end did give us a chance. It was kind of a freak thing. We had Eric Jones. He blocked it, and then I was able to pick it out of the air and score it. So gave us a chance at the end to get an onside kick, but we didn't end up getting it.
Gotcha. And Region 10 that year with COVID just throwing a wrench into practically anything that moved. You had Cloverleaf that went 7-2. West Holmes made a run to state finals this year. Buckeye and Padua are always pretty solid. Even Copley went 8-2 the year before and nearly knocked off Norton in their playoff game. I want to talk to you about your senior year of football. How did it feel to get back to normal with that and having the student section in full capacity?
Yeah, I think it was good for us to know that COVID season had passed. I know not everything's gone back to normal, but it kind of felt more like a normal season, more like we had a better off season to be able to get our work in, get our lifts in, get stronger, get faster, get all the reps in and stuff like that to be able to be as successful as we could be. I think just being how it was just a great opportunity for us to really take a hold of this, and we had a lot of seniors this year too. So the leadership there was pretty crazy, just because we'd all been there. We had been there through a regular season, a COVID season, and then coming back to pretty much a regular season again. We all knew what it was going to take, and everybody was able to buy into it.
Gotcha. And in your week 1 game against rival Padua, you guys won 20-0. How was that like to kick off the season?
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, we had worked pretty much that whole summer, knowing that Padua was your first game, and that how big that rivalry game is to pretty much anybody who's ever stepped foot on the Holy Name campus. It was something that drove us through all summer. Just knowing that first Padua game, I mean, we schemed for it pretty much all summer. So we were very, very well prepared for that game. We took the chances, took the opportunities that were given to us with everything that we've known about them, playing them through the years, and not being able to play them my junior year last year. We were all hungry to get after it, and we saw the results out on the field.
Gotcha. And then you guys down the stretch had a bit of a rough go, but you guys played some pretty tough teams: VASJ, Riverside, Elyria Catholic, and then the game against Parma got canceled due to COVID protocols. But you guys got back on board with a win out at Lakewood. How was it like to bounce back after that tough stretch there when dealing with that COVID cancellation?
Yeah, so it was a rough stretch. You get off that first Padua game. Everybody's high on everything, and it was a weird feeling going those 3 straight games of just losses. But I think going through that and that strength of schedule, playing those good teams, being able to experience that, we did have some younger guys that hadn't played before in some skill positions. Getting that experience, getting that feeling of being down and trying to work back up to it, I think it made us all the better for come playoff time. We played some tough teams. We played them hard. Except for the Elyria Catholic game, but it really set us up to have the confidence going into some of these bigger games. And then as you talked about the Parma game, we were able to reset during that extra week and able to kind of get our minds back to where we need to believe that we were a championship football team, and everybody was able to re-buy in on it during that week.
Gotcha. And then you guys had a really close win against North Olmsted, and that proved to be the difference as you guys ended up having a home game instead of potentially having to travel on the road. How big was it to eke out a win against a North Olmsted team who had struggled in the past, but this was their bounce-back year?
Yeah, we knew they were going to be solid. I mean, we had watched the film. We had a lot of film on them. We were able to prepare very well. We knew it was going to be a tough game, and we knew what we were playing for. We were playing for the ability to play the first home playoff game in years. So We all really wanted it bad. I mean, we were a good matchup against them. Had a lot of good opportunities, things we saw during the week. And then, it came down to that final play. We were able to capitalize a lot through the game, and it came down to the end of the game, and we were able to hold as our defense had done a lot this year. We were able to edge it out and get that for that home playoff game.
Gotcha. And then you guys won 28-0 against conference rival Bay, and then you guys went to top seeded Norton and got the win. I don't think I ever got to interview you post game, but how was it to be one of those main anchors on defense there and hold Norton to a shutout?
It was awesome. We getting off that Bay game, I think we really realized who we were as a team and what we were capable of. And then going into Norton, we knew it was going to be a tough game, but really looking at film and how they ran their offense, we noticed that nobody had really been able to figure it out yet. And nobody had been able to figure out that odd, weird type formation offense that they do. And our coaching staff, hats off to them, but they were definitely able to figure it out. We put in some different packages, some different formations and stuff to be able to combat what they were trying to do, and I think it worked really well. As you saw, 28 or 28-0, whatever it was a great defensive game for us, and then we were able to capitalize on opportunities on offense as well. As you said, I played a very well game, but it sets up me having a good game sets up my other DN he had a great game as well, and we were able to keep the linemen off the linebackers, so they were able to make plays. So it was an all-around effort, and we were able to pull it out there. It was a great win and really helped us to carry that into the next couple games as well.
Gotcha. And how big was heard you guys had a game-winning touchdown against Padua, who you guys ended up meeting again. Where did that game end up getting played?
It was played at Brooklyn High School, actually. Okay. We were originally, I feel like we were somewhere bigger, and then they moved us somewhere else, and so that was a packed house. The game got sold out. It was an insane atmosphere to be in.
Gotcha. And how was it when the quarterback, I believe Javon Williams, who did he find in the end zone at the end of that game?
Andrew Cole. He's a sophomore for us. Played a big role at wide receiver later in the season.
Gotcha. And how big was it?
So, yeah, that play really, it was something we had set up all game. We knew that I was going to be there. We knew that they had been doubling EJ all game. They had been kind of focusing on our stronger receivers. Not to say that Andrew Cole's not, but he's kind of our secret weapon because we hadn't used him a whole lot earlier in the season. And we knew he had the ability to make that catch, and it was something that we set up that last drive. EJ had a big catch that drive, was able to get us down the field, and our run game as well got us to the end of that 1-2 yard line, and he threw it up, and we knew he was going to come down with it.
Nice. And then, although you guys had a tough loss against West Holmes, how was it to get a chance to play for a regional championship for a second year in a row?
Yeah, that was a rough one. I know we had a really great game plan going in, and turnovers really decided the game. I think it was a team effort, but it was something that had been kind of our Achilles heel during those couple weeks where we had the rough patch turnovers, and it was an awesome experience being able to play for the regional finals. Most of the seniors had been there, but for those younger guys to get that experience as well, to be in a big game like that, it's going to be great for the program, and I think it really sets a standard of Hoyt football. Just after I leave, and I hope we leave a link to these younger guys who understand that that's where we want to be every year. Kind of just having a great season, being able to push through adversity, and set ourselves up for being able to possibly play in a championship game for something like that.
Nice. And Region 10 is definitely where you it's a bit of a grindhouse because you got, like I said earlier, you had Norton, you had Bay, you had Padua, top-seeded Norton. Anybody could beat anyone.
Yeah, it's definitely a well-rounded region. There's teams every year that are competing for a chance to play in that Final Four, and it really creates a great atmosphere and something you want to be a part of every year.
Gotcha. And now we're going to switch gears to baseball. What positions did you play growing up?
So I was always a first baseman, being left-handed. So I played first base. Sometimes I played outfield, but mostly first base and pitching as well.
Gotcha. And when did you get your first varsity appearance for Holy Name?
Not until junior year, really, because of COVID sophomore year. They canceled everything. I played JV my freshman year, but I didn't get that first appearance varsity-wise until junior year. I was the opening day pitcher.
Nice. And how was it? How'd the season go for you guys?
So we had a lot of talent on that team. I think we had 3 or 4 guys that are going to play college ball, but we unfortunately really were never able to put it together. We had good hitters, we had good fielders, but we had great pitchers as well. We ended up losing in the first game of the playoffs, but we had a lot of talent on that team. Just unfortunately couldn't put it together towards the end of the season.
Gotcha. And before your senior year, you ended up committing to Miami of Ohio. What stood out about Miami that led to the place to potentially play your ball for the next 4 years?
Yeah, so I started working out there winter of my junior years. I started working out at a facility out in Aurora my junior year with a guy by the name of Ben Simon, who really was able to develop me. I was able to get a lot better. I had a great summer season during that COVID year going into my junior year. And then I was able to, just get better that way. And, I was able to excel, and I got noticed. So I was able to be given that opportunity to go play. And, I ended up committing in February last year, I believe. So before my junior year. But, great opportunity, great school. And, I was just ecstatic about it when it happened.
Great program, too. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. What are you looking forward to going into your senior year for baseball?
I'm looking forward to getting better. I think we have a lot of talent on this team coming up. I think we have great opportunities. We have a couple great pitchers, Jack Topolsky, Austin Kazmarek, Mikey Sullivan. I think we can really have a great run at it this year. We got great fielders, great hitters. We really set ourselves up recruiting-wise for a great senior season. I'm excited to get after it. I was actually at practice tonight. We were throwing, so it was great to see a lot of guys already getting ready for the season, getting their work in. I'm really excited to see what the season's going to hold.
Gotcha. And my last question to you is any particular rivalry game you're looking forward to, and any particular game in general that you're looking forward to, team you're looking forward to playing in baseball this year?
Padua every year, so we did it. We lost them last year, so looking to get back at it this year. I'm excited for that game. That's more towards the end of the season. We also play Ignatius our last game of the season, so that could be. Sometimes we end up playing it, sometimes not, just depending on playoff schedule and stuff like that. So that's always a great game. It's a great game for us to be able to gauge where we're at and really set us up for hard competition in the playoffs. And then I'm excited as well to play some of these new teams in our conference too, like North Homestead. We play them, and then Westlake as well. We're playing, and Lakewood was in our conference last year, but we're playing them as well. So I'm excited to see what kind of talent we got in our conference.
All right, Connor, thanks for hopping on the show, man. I hope you have a good night, and best of luck your senior year.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for having me.